Hi Jay, I'm reviewing your con game today. I fast forward to where you show your loadout. So obviously Never Surrender 5 is I feel like it's a staple in every con loadout, so good job, check, whatever. Moving on. The core of your loadout is Hope Guard 4 and Life Taker 4. So my first impression when I saw these two cards was that they don't work that well together. And here's why I say that. Life Taker 4 is a snowbally card. Like, you want to be able to kill people, mash your Q, self-heal, whatever, sustain, kill more people, just keep doing this forever and ever and ever. But Hope Taker 4 is you want to have increased healing behind your shield. That to me is a much more defensive card. Life Taker 4 is an aggressive card. I'll only have Hope Taker 4 if I need if I need to play a little bit more point tank, which hopefully never happens because Storm of Bullets Con is not really a good point tank and it's wasted potential. But in my mind, I associate Hope Guard 4 with being more defensive point, whatever. But so, again, Storm of Bullets Con, I think you play him really well. You're basically just a DPS flank tank, self-healing, like all-in kind of thing, and then you just kind of get in their backline and be aggressive and do your thing. So I don't think those two cards at 4 work that well. Like, I don't see the synergy there. What I recommend instead is to not replace, I would say probably replace, honestly. I would say replace Life Taker with I forgot what it's called, but the card that gives you movement speed on Q. I think I have it at level 3, which is 32%, so like Nimble 3.2 when you hit your Q. That gets you out of a lot of sticky situations and actually makes Life Taker a little bit less useful to you. And here's why I say that. So after I watched your game, you don't really use your F on cooldown. I'm not saying you should. I'm just noting that you save your F, you use it when you need to use it. And I just didn't see how Life Taker helped you with having more commander's grabs. It helped you once in a while with having a few more Qs, but I don't think it was like game changing for you to have your Q 3 seconds sooner. It's already on a 10-second cooldown. You can wait an extra 3 seconds behind your shield. I thought you were positioned really well, so you weren't caught out and you didn't need your Q that much sooner. Plus, you kind of sort of had 2 healers that game, and you had Hope Guard, so it was kind of, and you took Rejuve in the end. So I would argue you really don't need Life Taker. And then Hope Guard, I don't think you need it at level 4. I would drop it to 2 or 3. I think Rejuve is cheap and it's honestly better because you don't really want to be playing a Storm of Bullets Con game behind your shield, because then you're honestly doing nothing and you're just being a point bot. And I mean, I'm not saying you did that, because you didn't at all. I'm just saying that's why I don't think you need that card that high. And then I would put a little bit more into plate mail. I think it's plate mail, yeah. So you have more flat health, so that you can win those 1v1s a little bit more. I mean, you were winning most of them, but again, it's just in general. So I'm gonna start, I think. I mean, basically, okay, as a summary, I would recommend having Never Surrender 5, fine. The movement speed card at 3. I put flat health at 3 or 4. Hope Guard at 2 or 3. And for your filler card, I do like what you have, which is Open Fire, the generating 4 ammo on Q. It's so useful. So keep that. So I would say for honestly, the entire first,
An enemy has drawn first blood.
down even more, for the first round, point fight plus push, there's nothing to say. You guys did totally fine. You guys won control of the point in 30 seconds. Less than 30 seconds. Zoning, it's fine. here, you see, watch your cursor on Makoa. So it's just something I noticed throughout the game, and I've had people point this out to me like so many times, so that's why I'm pointing out to you as well. Your cursor is like all over the place sometimes when you're trying to track people. So I'm really not an expert in like sense or whatever. I don't know. I honestly can't even tell if your like sense is too high, too low, or if it's an aiming issue. All I know is when I look at you trying to track, for example, that Koa, or I'll play. I think like in a bit you'll see more tracking. But when I see you trying to track, you'll see that like you're shooting the floor, the wall, like everything. I don't know if that's your sense being high or you're just not predicting. This Inara too, watch.
Enemy killing spree.
So that looked like you just weren't necessarily thinking about where the Inara was going to be, and you just kind of were like shooting where she was a second ago. But then your cursor's kind of like left, right, top, bot. I don't know what's causing that necessarily. Good kill. So what you do really well is you finish off kills. And sword bullets is great for that. So good job. Good shooting the field. All fine. Good shield. So I really do like how you position. Because you never really put yourself in a place where you were like feeding or anything. Again, great kill. You're great at finishing off kills again. First round is like so boring. You guys just roll them. So you'll notice like, so what I said, oh, by the way, that was a great ult from Makoa. And he wasted his ult, just hilarious. What was I saying? Oh, you'll notice that the first round, right, including the push, you guys were snowballing the fight, so you would think your snowball card, Life Taker, would be, you'd be like abusing it a lot, but you're really not. Maybe it's like you guys are snowballing it so much that there wasn't much value, but honestly I feel like it was just because, again, you don't waste your F, and then having a Q 3 seconds earlier is not game changing. So that's why I don't think it's crucial to have that card, especially not at 4.
When I step into the realm, things get wild. Buck wild.
It's fine, you and Buck are trying the same thing. Alright, so here I'm going to pause and talk about Commander's Grabs. So there's four uses that I can think of for Commander's Grabs. I think the first 2 you use really well and you look really comfortable using them. And then the last 2 you don't look quite as comfortable using them. So just remember that they are options for you and it makes the Commander's Grab more useful. So the first one, first use is as an escape, as just a pure, like, let me get some distance between me and someone else. You use that really, really well, so I don't have anything to say about that. Second one is to cancel shields, and I saw you do that with Koa shields a lot, so I think you're also very comfortable and you know when to use that. Moving on. The third use is to finish off low health targets. So sometimes you could just left click them to death, and then sometimes you could use your grab and finish them off. I never saw you use your grab to finish anyone off this game. I think I saw you try this a couple times near the end, but I'm not sure because it wasn't successful. So just remember that this is an option, especially when you are out of bullets. You don't have your Q up, so you can't, give yourself 4 bullets. You're really low, so if you reload, it's just like it takes time and you might die in the meantime. Just remember that hitting F to get that, like, I think it's like 600 damage is an option if they're in your face. And then the fourth use is to kind of confuse or like panic your opponents when you just throw them over your head. Especially in this game, if you notice, as the game goes on, the Xin is always in your face. And he's actually very good about using his billow early. So what you should have done various times is probably just as soon as you see him and he's in your face and he is like taking like 2 or 3 shots at you, like right after he takes like 2 or 3 shots at you, just like charge at him with your F. Like you'll force him into billow even earlier, and he'll be off your back for at least 15 seconds, because that's how long the cooldown on billow is, I think. So here you'll notice the Xin. This is like your first real encounter with him. Before that was just like, it didn't matter because he just died a lot. He's panicking already because he didn't expect you and Buck to be there. So he's like, oh shit, I'm fucked. So he's trying to back out and he uses billow really early. You could have just like effed him, and then maybe in the middle of you tossing him over his head, he's panicking so hard he doesn't hit billow and he might have even died. Who knows? But he did good to back out. I think you could have just soloed that shot, honestly. You were a little bit scared and put your shield up, but you had someone behind you. I think Buck was with you the whole time. I could be wrong. I think I saw someone shooting the Shaw. You could have even, when Shaw's planted, like it's incredibly hard to miss. Oh, one sec, I want to talk about something here. But it's incredibly hard to miss your F on a planted Shaw. He's not moving. And that like throws off his aim and everything. So that was an option. Let me go back a little bit. So in the meantime, I don't know how your team starts dying. But like here, Grok and Ash are both low. Back a little bit more. You're low too. Ash gets hooked. So here, you basically are using your Q off of cooldown, but your Ash is like pretty close to you. Grok, you probably can't save. But if you waited like a couple seconds, you had your shield up, you weren't taking any damage, they weren't even looking at you, you probably could have healed your Ash for 1,000, which is pretty significant given she looks like she only has about 1,000 left. So she does come to you, but you just used your Q, so you can't save her. She's low. She's gonna die. Did she not die? Oh, she's gonna die. Okay. This is like, your team just dies, and this is fine. I like your positioning. Again, Xin in your face. Just dash at him, man. I mean, he's close enough where if you dash at him, it doesn't put you out of position. I like that you cancel his shield. This is just annoying here. God, that's it. Just the Xin spam. It's unfortunate they cap, but come back. Mechanic of the bench. Ah, you're so close to finishing off that Xin. I mean, that shot. That was a great escape. Literally no reason for you to use that Q, by the way. You were already full healed, I think, before that. You had both Grok and Grover heals. And then Grover's ulting and you hit your Q for what? I don't know. You could have, like, if you said, like, you didn't need those four bullets. You could have just hit reload. You definitely didn't need the heal. You just kind of used it off cooldown. Again, you're great at finishing off kills. So there, I see you attempting to finish that Xin off. But again, like, this is, maybe it's still too early in the game for you to have picked up the pattern, but Zin's very, he does not save his billow against you, because I think he's more scared of you, of your commander's grab. So just grab him earlier and then make him billow even earlier. You could have finished him off. Okay, that was a good shield because you had nothing to duel that Shaw with. So close. good shield to save your buck.
Step into the light. Impel it.
Okay. I'm gonna say something that I'm not sure it was like for sure the right play, because I think your buck is gonna die anyways. But it's just something to consider in general. When Makoa ults, just pretend you are Nando. Just play as Nando and just stand in front of him and then like make him swing at your shield. It is like the most frustrating thing when you're playing Koa and you're ulting and all you get is shield in your face. And then he can't kill anyone. You might have backed out, and that's probably the safer play. And again, I think your buck was probably almost dead anyways. But just, you know, maybe some other situation, you could have saved a teammate by standing in front of them. Right here is fine. Just do that. Okay, your cursor wasn't, I'm not gonna go back, but your cursor like wasn't even close to where Makoa was when you hit your E. Like it was like way to the right side. Like Koa was here or something, and your cursor was like here. I think you do know that you had like there was like a quarter second or half second delay between when you hit your E and then you have to track the person until the ult actually pulls them. So you can't just like aim at them for 1 brief second, unfortunately. Good. I like how you cancel his shield like every time you can. That I think you do really well. You guys just got collapsed upon. I don't really know what you could have done other than if you'd actually hit your ult there. But like not a big deal.
15 seconds.
So if you'd aimed that a little bit better, you could have killed him, I'm pretty sure. This in.
Remaining.
Your sight fails you.
10, 9, 8, 7,
This is fine. I'm
6,
fine with you using your dash to get out.
3, 2.
Good.
Enemy killing spree.
Zen's being annoying again. Just walk. Yeah, so you're walking at him. Here, just dash at him. Seriously, like perfect. He's not even looking at you. He's countering, but he's not countering you. He's countering the wall. I don't know why, but he is. So if you dashed at him, 600 damage, he would build instantly.
Step into the light. Impel it.
Again, just the cursor not tracking well. It looks like your sound's a little bit high to me. Okay. I don't know why you just stood in Inara's field. Like, did she wall off behind you? I'm not sure. But even if she did, like, you can still, like, you just weren't really moving. Like, just walk backwards, walk to the right. Like, get out of her field. There's no reason to just take damage, and you were low anyways. And you were just shielding, so you couldn't break her field. It was just kind of awkward. It's, like, not a big deal. It's just something small.
Five, 4,
Oh my god,
3,
the Genos get death
2,
chance.
1.
That's a throw. This play cracks me up. Alright, so I hope you realize that you have to track them for like a quarter second or half second or whatever it is. I don't know, like I find it really hard to even hit someone on their horse, much less like track them perfectly. So if you'd shot literally one bullet at that Inara, she was a free, like she was dead. She was just like a free ult. I think every Inara playing against a con should just go Mother's Grace, just to immune that ult for like, I don't know, half the time or whatever. Because otherwise, like, Inara is literally a free ult for you every time you see her. Unless she's on her horse and you don't dismount her first. So, rip. Hit F! Hit F! I think think if you hit your F, you would have just killed him. He was really low. I mean, he had a Genos mark on him, so he was healing in his F and then ulted you, so whatever. But if you hit your F, that would have changed things. So this is good. Makoa ults, Grover ults, you hit Q, great. What you okay, so after this, you choose to shoot him instead of shielding for your teammates, which kind of ended up working out fine because your teammates were all alive anyways. I would have just been really nervous because like Grok's low, Grover's kind of low. Like I would have tried to shield for them instead. Here you hit you hit like a good series of headshots on the Koa. And again, like DPS con is so fun. But if you notice, again, like your cursor's like not even close to the Koa at times. So figure out why that is so that you can get even more value out of your shots. Yeah, it's really strange because like there, and then also on this Jonos, you finish them off really well. And like throughout the game, you have so many kills, so you're really good at finishing people off. I don't know if it's just like you're not paying as much attention when they're not like literally one shot, but when they are, you're like, oh shit, I need this kill, and you're like extra motivated. So I don't know if it's a you thing or your cursor. Yeah, I saw you trying to get that Zen. It was a great attempt. If only it hit. Maybe you just aren't like maybe you're just not as comfortable hitting people with your commander's grab, and it's something that you just have to practice. That's all.
You are not welcome here.
This ult was okay. It wasn't completely necessary. But it's fine. You guys win anyways. Yeah. Again, I like the way you play con. I think Storm Bolt con's really fun. And you just flank them the whole game. And you shoot them and kill them. It's great. I like your positioning. I like the way that you're able to like you see like you smell blood basically and then you go for the kill. It's great. Yeah, your Qs were fine for the most part. A couple times you kind of wasted it. A couple times you could have healed your teammates a bit better. Your shields are great. Your commander's grabs, again, those four ways to use them. The first two used them really well. The last two felt like you could. It seemed like you weren't quite comfortable using them for that purpose. And then just think about. Just try. I'm not arguing that it's objectively a better loadout at all, but just try what I suggested using the movement speed card on Q, because per point it's pretty. It gives you a lot of movement speed per point, so you don't have to have it at like 5 or anything. And yeah, that's it.